In James chapter 2, verse 17, if you want to read that out. How do you show your faith to the one and living God, to the Ancient of Days, the great and merciful one? How do you show your faith? James 2:17. This is the book of James, chapter 2, verse 17.
Even faith, if it hath not works, is dead.
Being alone, if you say, oh, I got faith, and it's by itself, it's dead. Summarizing James 2:17, faith without works is dead. Again, faith without works is dead. So what that means? Your works prove who you serve. And you show faith when you, turn away from sin.
Oh, so if that's the case, that must mean that all these Christians that love God, that say they have faith, but they live an ungodly life, that must mean that they're really serving Satan.
Satan has deceived the whole world. And it's up to us to understand that we have to humble ourselves to what the word says and not what we've been taught by man. Because the traditions of man has been running through generation after generation. We also can't forget that the battle that we having is a spiritual battle for your life and for your soul. You are going against the master of deception. He's been here since the Garden of Eden, so guess what? His experience level is 10,000 times 10,000. He knows you and he knows your weaknesses. And Satan ain't playing because he's going to get his number. And he knows that his time is short. So he's going to do everything in the world to put what your thing is that gets you, your hurdle, and he's going to push it to keep you to serving yourself instead of serving the Most High. How do you show your faith? If you keep God's commandments, that's another way you show your faith. And what else? You would change your lifestyle for your faith. This goes back into John chapter 3. If you want to go back and be a new creature, you're going to change your lifestyle because of everything that you learned before. When you realize that, hey, I've been messing up. I ain't been keeping none of God's days. I ain't did none that God said to do. It's going to change your lifestyle when you do. And it's hard for the betterment. If you smoke, you're going to say, hey, I can't be smoking no more. If you used to always get up and drink and you was a drunkard, you're going to stop that too. Why? Because you're going to be filled with the word of the Lord. And that'll be what keeps you sober. Because, you know, he loves you. If anybody in the world loves you, he loves you, especially if you love him. All right, bring out that precept.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
There you go. Be reproved with your mind. Your mind is your heart. That's where you get your faith to come back and grab you. And you show who you really love. And also, it'll help you when you test it. Because when you change your lifestyle for the Most High through Christ, you stand firm even when you test it by Satan. Because now you know his tricks. You know your weaknesses. And that right there shows faith to the Most High that you really care about him and that you will fight the devil and his spiritual demons that's here that we don't even see. But they setting us up like a net. It's called a fowler. A fowler is a person that catch birds. And what Satan do is he's setting up invisible nets, which is your temptations. And if you're not covered by him, you're going to go right into them traps. And the more traps you get into, the stickier it'll get. And sometimes birds don't get out them traps. Matter of fact, a lot of birds ain't gonna get out them traps because a lot of people won't humble themselves before the Most High and become a new creature by following his only begotten Son, which came here and showed us that we can do it in the face of the devil. Wasn't he tempted 3 times? Yeah, he was tempted 3 times. And he still was able to override the devil and the temptations, meaning that you can too. Let me get Sirach chapter 2, verse 1. And this right here is the test. So if you really love God, don't you think he's going to put you through tests, through trials? How much do you love him? How much do you love him? All right, read it out.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
You hear that? If you come to serve the Lord, he says what? Prepare your what?
Soul for temptation.
Yes, you are fighting for your soul.
You coming to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. Right. Expect the test. Expect the test. Expect the test. When you're coming to serve the Lord, yes, sir, Satan is coming for your soul, especially when you say, I want to be a new Christian. Expect the trials and tribulations. Expect the test. Keep reading.
Set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
So in other words, he's going to continually to test you. You will be tested. Continually endure the temptations. Keep going.
And make not haste in time of trouble.
And when you brought down low, do not give up, because the Lord got you. He won't give you nothing that you cannot be. So keep the faith, fight the test, and rule the test. Keep going.
Cleave unto him and depart not away,
Cleave unto the Lord. Keep going.
that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
And at your last end, at your dying breath, believe that you're going to be increased in the kingdom of heaven to rule with the Messiah. What a glorious thing to be crowned, to be gifted with everlasting life and have the world and to rule right beside the King of Kings. Let's go, the King of Kings. Yes, he's returning. You better get right. And you might want to be on his side when he comes back, because he's coming back with a sword. So know, trust, and believe that when the King of Kings returns, all flesh will be judged, and every knee shall bow. Right. So if you serve God, expect the test, and your faith is proven through action. What is your actions? Your works. So, God will test you. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 2.
Deuteronomy 8, verse 2. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee, and to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no.
So just like back in the day, let's fast forward today, because ain't nothing new under the sun. We was tested in the wilderness back then for 40 years to see if you will humble yourself before the Most High. And today, in 2025, you are being tested. Are you going to humble yourself for the Most High God? Because if you don't know, the people that's in the wilderness, back in that time, when they was in the wilderness, the Most High said, I didn't want anybody 20 years and up, because that whole generation was wicked. So God will blot you out. So it's up to you. Will you choose to humble yourself before the Lord and his teachings and be obedient to his instructions? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Check this out. In Genesis 22, Abraham was tested. Wasn't he not? Wasn't he not? Abraham was tested. He was tested. He loved the most on the earth, which was his son, Isaac. He was tested by sacrificing him. And Abraham was going to do it. He was right there with the blade, almost going to come down. The Most High saying, I got you. You really do love me and trust me and have faith in me. Don't worry about it. Get this ram that come out the bushes. And guess what? A ram came out the bushes for the sacrifice. Isn't he good? Yes, he's good. And the Most High is going to keep his word. Only thing is, he's going to test you if you really believe his word. So he is almighty, and he ain't going to beg you to keep his word. No, no. Not the Lord of the Bible. Not the God of the Bible. He do not beg you to do nothing for him. No, you are the creation. You are the creation, not the creator. So the creator is not going to beg the creation to worship him. No, you got to willingly want to worship him. And in the last, he says you will be increased. You will be increased. Think it's a game. Your soul is on the line every day. The choices that you make, it's up to you. Whether you're going to do good and have life, or you can do evil and do what thou wilt and have damnation in a lake of fire, where you burn forever and be tormented with weeping and gnashing of the teeth. That is not the way to go. Just humble yourself and serve the Lord in his word, and just know without a shadow of a doubt that he's not going to forsake the righteous. He will never forsake the righteous. Has he ever forsake the righteous? The God of the Bible? No. He got you, but you got to show him that you got him. You got to show him. You got to. And the only way you show him is by having faith and the works. That's how you show him that you love him. Fear God and keep his commandments. Let's go. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let's hear the duty. Let's hear your duty while you're on this earth in the face of the devil. While he has this whole world on lockdown. He's trying to take every wicked, sinful nature, body, spirit, person in the world with him. But it's up to you. Do you want to go along with the go along? Or do you want to get along with the Most High? Let's go ahead and read Ecclesiastes 12 verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Here is the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God. Fear God and keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. For this is the whole duty of man. Your whole being on this earth as a man and woman, y'all better fear God, because he can take your body and your soul. What? He will take your body and your soul. You better fear God. And what's the second thing he say? Fear God. And keep his commandments. Keep the commandments. So he says, what? Fear God. That's your faith. Keep his commandments is your work. That's what's going to separate you, the sheep, from the goat. Better believe it. Let's go to Matthew 19:17. What do Matthew say? In the book of Matthew, chapter 19, verse 17.
And behold, one came, verse 16, and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life?
So he asked the Messiah, how can I get eternal life? That should be everybody's first question that you should be asking, only if you got the Spirit and believing on the Lord, the Most High God. That'll be one of your first questions that you need to ask. What do I need to do to get eternal life? Keep going.
And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one.
That's right.
That is God.
That is who?
God.
So even as the Hamashiach, even Jesus said there's only one that's good, and that's the Most High. Keep going.
But if thou wilt enter into life,
Keep the commandments. He said, but if you want to enter into life, keep the commandments. Once again, keep the commandments. And what happened with this man? Keep going.
He said unto him, Which? Jesus said, Thou shalt do no murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Honor thy father and thy mother. And thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
So Christ goes over the 10 commandments. Bam, break down. This is what you're supposed to do. Keep going.
The young man said unto him,
What'd he say?
All these things have I kept from my youth up.
He said, hey, Christ, I've been doing all these things that you just said. I've been keeping the commandments since I was a baby, since I was a youth and coming on up. What else do I need to do? Keep going.
What Mac I yet?
What do